On to some academic questions. So some of the students have asked me how they can prepare for a heavy course like anatomy and physiology during their summer before school starts.
Um, Anatomy physiology is, probably one of the most content dense courses that you will take in kinesiology. And really, it's just about spending time with the material. And I know that's hard during the school year because it's sort of fast and furious coming at you. So if you are preparing in advance, and you can contact me in the summertime or look at the kin website in the summertime to see what the textbook is. Honestly, I'm not teaching anything new, and it's not like I'm creating anatomy as we go. So you can learn a lot of the information that we're going to cover in the course in advance, but just by reading through the textbook. And I'm happy to provide, reading lists for students so that they can do that and know what we're going to be covering over the course of the term. That's the way I did it. Like even when I came back to start teaching the course, I hadn't taken the course since, well, it was probably over a decade anyways, between when I took the course and when I started teaching the course. Right. And I'm a metabolic exercise physiology that specializes in skeletal muscle. So it's not like every single body system is my area of expertise. It wasn't. So I started much like students, and I read the textbook. That was the first step. And then I tried to visualize all of the things that I was going to have to teach to someone else. And by getting yourself really in depth in the information and trying to fully understand it and not memorize anything, but just really understand what the concepts are, what the structures are, how those structures fit with the physiology without taking any notes, just in your own mind, trying to fully understand it, get your questions answered, search on, the internet, even if you're not really sure how something works. Anatomy is anatomy. For the most part, the concepts are pretty clear, the big concepts. Some of the small details vary from reference to reference, but those big concepts, you'll be able to get lots of animations and videos and things like that on the internet to help you to understand some of those things. And I try and do that in the lectures and things like that as well, especially these online lectures that we've just previously created. But that would probably be my best advice, because you know what it's like if you've taken a course in the past and you've learned a concept and then you take it in another course and you're like, oh, I've learned this already. It's much easier when you can recognize the concepts in advance. So just reading the textbook before I teach anything is a major advantage in my mind. And not spending all your time trying to memorize it. Understand it first. And then once you understand it, the memorizing is just putting a name to the different structures, really. But I think students tackle it the other way around. They try and memorize it and they don't fully understand it. So then when I ask a question that's trying to put concepts together, it's hard to answer those questions if you don't really understand what's happening. So I spent a lot of time visualizing things. And you can do that yourself just by reading the textbook in advance and trying to set yourself up for being aware of all of the things that we're going to talk about before we talk about them.
That's a really wonderful answer. So thank you so much for that. So for all of you who had that question or were curious about the anatomy and physiology course, you can just get back to Dr. Howarth or go on your own and check out the course syllabus and find out what the textbook is and reference that before you start the school term. Well, thank you so much.